So we're back with Pro Golf Gals. Hi Dee.
Hi Annie, great to be back.
Great to be back. We wanted to do the hybrid fight.
The hybrid fight.
In a previous video, which you may have seen, we were at the Australian Open and we were watching a guy practicing, and Dee said, I'll put it up and I'll show you. Dee said, oh, he should use a hybrid from here. And I said, I hate the hybrid. And we thought, what? We should do a comparison, you know, the pros and the cons of the hybrid chip.
Yep. And he's using, by the look of it, a very lofted club because he wants to get it up high because of that bank.
Yeah, it's just a really tricky spot.
Our viewers would be better off using a hybrid and running it up, don't you think?
Oh, no, Dee.
Oh, I don't know.
I hate that shot.
Oh, I love it. It's the percentage.
I've done
unless you're a really good player.
But wouldn't you just use an 8-iron and chip and run? I just hate the hybrid. I've done a tip on why I hate the hybrid for chipping.
Absolutely.
And Denise likes it and I don't. So I'm willing to be convinced.
Okay. When I say I like it, I think it's the hybrid is very, very good for the higher handicapper. Mm-hmm. It's also very good if you've got to go up a slope because it's like a putt.
Yep, so you don't have to lift it up the slope.
You don't have to lift it up. And why wouldn't I use a putter? I'm using the hybrid because the hybrid comes off faster. Okay. So it overcomes all of this.
So, and you're saying, because we have talked about it a little bit, you're saying it's better for the higher handicapper because you're not having to sort of get under the ball to lift it up and the club will just sort of sweep along the grass. And my dislike of the hybrid really comes from the fact that it became a bit of a gimmick. And I feel like it's a very long club. And when you're trying to chip with the long club, it sort of gets up and it's really just cumbersome. And the thing I hate the most is that the average golfer will see something on TV, see the pros using and go, oh, I'll get that out. And then they try it on the third hole in the comp and it doesn't work. So you need to practice it a little bit. So we're going to do a comparison, aren't we?
Absolutely. And I'd say the lob wedge is my hate club. I hate the lob wedge. People are using it all the time. It's inconsistent.
It's a hard shot.
You've got to be perfect. It's a bigger swing.
Yeah, it takes a skill.
So a bad hybrid will generally turn out a lot better than a lob wedge or even a 7-iron or a pitching wedge.
So we're gonna do a shot. We're gonna try all three and see what works out best.
And it's an interesting. Sorry to interrupt, Annie. It's an interesting situation here because we have a lot of green to work with. So I generally use the hybrid when there's less green.
Yes.
And we've got a bank to go up. And if anyone knows this hole at Bonnie Doon, there's a lot of slope to left to right. So this is an extremely hard pin position to get to, because it's got 1-2 tiers that you've got to go up and it's breaking.
So it's probably good to keep it low and sort of run it up.
Keep it running, And then if you flick it as well, you can still get away with it. You flick a lob wedge or a wedge, you're in trouble.
You will know all about
let's try the hybrid.
Yep.
Let's try the little 7-iron, the one you like. You like to bump it into
7 or 8, the chip and run shot.
Do you like to bump it into the...
bump it in, because to me, you're carrying at least some of the grass.
Yep.
You know, putting to me is out when you're a long way off because you've got too much grass to cover. It's just hit and miss. The chip and run, I think, covers a certain amount of the grass. So you're taking some of the inconsistencies out.
That's very true. I think it's good for the intermediate golfer.
Yeah, so we will talk about that. We're going to do the comparison and we'll see which sort of level of golfer will suit which shot, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right. Let's start off with the hybrid. What's the technique you would use if you did choose to chip with a hybrid, Dee?
Okay, I'm going to use my putting grip.
Right.
So I use a reverse overlap.
Why do you suggest that?
Because it eliminates wrist action.
Okay, good.
So the reverse overlap eliminates wrist action.
And generally this will be a very short shot, so you don't need any kind of wrist action.
It's really, it's like a putting action. I'm not directly over the ball. That's one of the problems if you've got a longer club.
Yeah.
So I'm using my putting grip and I'm doing a chipping action, basically. Grip, just to eliminate the wrist action. Because I agree totally with you. If you're going to have your putting grip, then this is kind of sticking in you. I play it off my back foot, so it's closer to my back foot, so it's a bit like a chip. And all I'm going to do is just
sweep the grass.
Sweep the grass.
Almost like a putt?
Almost like a putt. It's a combination of a
putt and a chip. Yeah, okay.
So I'm down the grip a little bit.
And would you pick some sort of spot to land it, or is it it's not going to land?
I'm not even going to land.
It's just going to run.
I'm now just looking and thinking it's a putt. I'm putting it up to the left. I'm going to put it up to the left. It's going to roll back. It's got a double break.
And why do you think it's better than a putter?
At this moment, I'm not sure till I do it.
It comes off faster, doesn't it? It comes off the face faster.
So I don't have to think about, oh my goodness, this is very grassy. I'll have to have a bigger putt, length swing or hit it hard, which I hate.
It kind of does carry over slightly where a putter would have to absolutely negotiate everything.
It's got some loft and the putter has very
exactly.
So that's just it.
Let's see what you're made of then, Dee. Let's see if you can get this close. I know this is a difficult.
Yeah,
she's already told us how difficult.
It's very difficult.
So that did lift a little bit.
Lifted a little bit. And
you've just given it a little bit too much. That's okay. Okay,
but
so
it's going to come back off the mound there.
That's not bad.
Not brilliant. I'm not going to.
You know what I like about this, I have to admit, is that if you get a bit wristy, then you're probably going to be okay.
Why don't I get a bit wristy?
Let's do it. Have you got another ball?
Yeah, there's one. Yeah.
I'm standing on top of them. Sorry.
So I'll do everything except I'll have that little flick, which a lot of
let's do that flick.
So
this is a common problem in golf, isn't it? This is probably the most common fault that people do when chipping, trying to lift it up in the air.
It hurts your wrist too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So if I mishit this.
Let's do a wristy one. Yeah, so you actually got away with that quite well. In fact, it's probably closer. Don't you hate that? Oh my goch, it's nearly gone in.
It's nearly gone in.
Okay, so.
But we hate that. We hate that. We just used a club that allowed us to get away.
Exactly. All right, so let's have a go with the 8-iron chip and run. I prefer the 8 than the 7.
I'm probably going to go a 7.
Well, look, this is my shot. We're going to do it with my club, G.
Right, okay.
It's not all about you.
So you tell me what to do, and then I'll tell you what I like and don't like about it for a high handicapper. This is, I think, for an intermediate to a better player.
So we think the hybrid's more for the high handicapper because you can get away with some poor technique and you're going to be okay. And this is more for the in-between average. So the chip and run is, you need to pick a spot you want to land it. Generally about 1/3 of the way to land, 2/3 to run. Obviously that's a massive generalisation. Depends on the speed of the greens and all that sort of stuff. So pick your spot, Dee.
Okay.
You're the pro, so
I'm the pro.
So you would know where to land it.
Yes, the one thing I don't like about this, where I disagree with you a little bit, unless I've practiced it a lot, I actually have to know where I'm exactly going to land it. And if I don't, if I land it a little bit short, it's going to run back
But you can never know. It's always a bit of a guess, isn't it?
Well, not if you practice,
No, this shot, sure, if you're practicing the same shot all the time.
I think we know that if I do this length swing, it's going to carry a certain distance.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
And that's why you need to practice it. That's why
you do, but same with every shot, right?
Absolutely. So
see, I told you this was going to be a fight.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm
okay.
going to land it on my spot, then I see it running up to the
Where's your spot? Can I just go and mark it out?
Mark it out. Yep, good. Yes, there's my spot.
All right. Let's see if she can do it now.
See, this worries me because if I go a little too far, it's going to hit the downhill.
Yeah.
That's my... Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put it up there.
Oh, you just carried it a little bit too far. Okay.
It's not that bad.
It's actually going to be okay. It's coming back nicely. Do you want a second one too?
Yes,
that's only fair, isn't it? We give you 2 shots with that one.
I would have done much better with a 7-iron.
With a 7-iron, I would have gone even further.
I would have landed it shorter.
That's what she says.
All right. So the action here is I'm using my normal grip.
Yes.
My ball position's middle to back.
Gripping down a little bit.
Down, and I'm just keeping this wide.
Similar to the hybrid.
Similar,
yeah.
Very similar to the hybrid.
Yep.
Except the putt and grip change.
Yeah, the normal grip. Okay, that was a better landing area. Although it got kind of caught up.
So that's my issue with that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what's going to happen when it lands.
You don't know what's going to happen when it lands.
I think that this shot, ideally, for if you're a good golfer, you would lift it up over all this, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But sometimes if you're not at that level yet, then these first 2 shots are a good choice.
Because what you're going to do is you're going to get it on the green no matter what, and generally
pretty much.
You're going to be happy to walk off with 3.
Exactly.
And if, for instance, the flag was closer, I know that's a bit sidetracking, if this flag was closer, then we've got the hybrid or this, but probably not the lob wedge because it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
Why don't we try it with a wedge? And
try it with the wedge, finish off our 3. There's your 2 balls. It looks like a wedge to me. It's the one.
So here I'm just going to do exactly the same, except I'm probably playing it a little bit more middle.
And that just gives you a little bit more height on the shot. When the ball's back, it goes lower. When it's forward, it goes higher.
Yep. And I'm still wanting to maintain I don't want any flicking. So you
That's
can see I'm
right.
still doing this, and I'm pivoting in my left groin.
Yep.
I'm
letting
not trying
that,
to
letting the
stay.
body, turn through.
I don't want
Yep.
that flick.
Yep.
So we're probably going to land this about halfway.
Halfway between here and the flag
Yep.
sounds good, Dee. And keeping it left because we know it
Yep.
runs off to the right. Oh, that looks nice. That looks real nice.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
Isn't that interesting? Like, to me, because you've got the skill to play the right shot, you're going to get it closer.
Exactly.
So what that does is
very good
advocates for practicing to get your level up, and then you can choose the right club for the right shot. You're not thinking, well, I can't play that shot, so I'll have to run it in, and then your chances of getting closer are less.
But I think, you know, what you just said then is a great point, Annie. What we should do is know where we're at
Yes.
and then play within that area, because
Yes.
that'll reduce tension, and we'll
Yes.
reduce tension. Whereas
Yes.
if you're a high handicapper and you're trying to get it up,
Yes.
sometimes you'll get it up,
Yeah.
but then you're going to get this
And then,
flick, and
yeah.
I'm sure if I flick this, it's not going to be as good as the flick with the hybrid.
So just to wrap up what Dee's saying there, play within or where you're at, but off the course, practice those shots where you're lifting it up, and do it when there's no pressure, and then slowly bring it into your game as you improve. So you got then eventually got all the shots. That's what our goal is, right?
And you know, you can go out in the afternoons on most golf courses, and you can just, you know,
Yeah,
play
there's
3
no one
holes,
around.
hit a couple of extra balls, just experiment with
That's
it.
it. Have some fun with it.
Have fun.
That's what the
golf's
pros do, don't they? They go out and they practice. They'll throw some balls down here. They'll throw some
Like,
balls
try
down there.
different clubs.
Yeah.
But great point you said, and I know we're going to say it again. Great point. Know where you're at and use that level, and
Use
then
and play
practice to
within
go
that
to
level.
The next level.
Exactly. So use a hybrid chipper if that's your level and you feel that's the most comfortable. But practice it first, please.
exactly.
And then chip and run's your next level where you can pick a spot to land it, and then your wedge or even your sand wedge, depending where the flag is your more elite level.
The one thing I do think, if you're using the hybrid a lot and you flick, you can get away with it. So sometimes it doesn't teach you to get out of that flick.
That's it.
And then that can cause a huge problem.
Yeah,
throughout.
and then you'll
So-
never be able to play the wedge. Once
Yeah.
you start flicking,
And
you'll
it's gonna
never be able to
affect
play the wedge.
your big swing as well, your full swing
Exactly,
as well, isn't it?
exactly.
So, what am I doing here?
Were you going to flick it on purpose?
Am I trying to flick it going high or low? What do you want? A high flick or a low flick?
What do you mean? What's the difference?
A high flick, I do this and the ball goes really high.
Yeah.
And a low shot, I flick it, but I hit
Are
halfway
you
up the
trying to
ball.
blade it over the
And
back?
it blades over. You
Well,
know
why
how-
don't you just not try and get any result? Just flick it and
just
see
flick.
what happens.
Oh, that's true.
Because it's either going to duff in front of you or it's going to blade over the back.
Flick, flick, flick. Oh, I don't like this.
No, it's not
Here we
nice,
go.
is it? Okay. That's the classic drive flick.
Oh, it feels horrible. I'm in a bad shot.
yeah.
I've got to leave with a good thought.
So that's a lesson for everybody who tends to drive the ball over the back, which is a common problem. You're very likely flicking
Yep.
the club head up too soon, so you're not getting down under the ball. That's the number one cause of that one that drives over the
And
back.
it's the number one cause of the hip behind as well.
The hip behind that just stops him. Our advice would be the higher handicapper try the hybrid, practice a little bit first, and the average go for the chip and run, and then as you get better, start lifting it up, because sometimes you've got to lift it over a bunker. So
Yeah.
you really do need that shot down the track, as you get better.
And toe.
All right, see you next time on Pro Golf Gals.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Look at that skull, Eddie.
That was a good skull.
I learned how to stand properly when I was
Did
at
you?
Elvis. Oops.
At Elvis? What's
Yes,
Elvis doing?
Well, the ladies were taking me to a line dancing thing, but it wasn't. It turned out to be the burlesque.
Oh,
which was
that's
that really
burlesque.
burlesque.
Oh. What did you learn at
This is strange.
burlesque?
How to be quite sexy.
Really?
It hasn't worked yet.
We don't need it for Pro Golf Gals.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's not bad. Considering you gave me the...
Stop your shadow from moving.
It worked. This is a tough little shot though.
Oh, wow, you are good.
Well, I didn't think I could stop it short.
Just stop that shadow.
Oh, that's better. That's nice. Good shot. Don't worry, Dee, I'll get it.